Hello, listeners, and welcome back to The Otter Show. We are moving on with Volume 2 of our Halloween special, and I am super excited to have 2 more thrilling tales to share with you, both of which I wrote for my Reddit horror account, The Dreadfiles. If you would like to learn more about The Dreadfiles, stay tuned to the end of this episode, as I'm going to give you guys a little 411 on what exactly The Dreadfiles is. I hope that you enjoyed last week's episode, Volume 1, with the 2 stories that I shared with you. It's always watching me. And there's a trail in my hometown, and if you walk down it, you disappear. I had a lot of fun narrating those stories, just like I did these stories for you here today, and I got a few messages of people saying they really enjoyed it, so thank you so much to those people. I hope you enjoy these episodes, but again, I must warn you that the following content is intended for a mature audience, and some people may find the content of these stories disturbing. Listener discretion is strongly advised. And without further ado, let's get into these 2 tales. The face in the mirror is not my own, and I'm writing this in case I'm gone tomorrow. The face in the mirror is not my own. Case file 003297. The following has been transcribed from an unsent video message from to his mother. No other information has ever been shared about this incident. The video opens in a darkened room facing a bed. Can be seen setting up the camera, then sitting on the bed. He looks very sleep-deprived, malnourished, and deeply disturbed. He sits in silence for approximately 4 minutes before speaking. Hi, Mom. I know it's been a while and I'm really sorry for that. I know you keep inviting me over for dinner, but well, I just can't. I can't let you see me like this state I'm in. The way that I look, the way that I feel, I just can't. I didn't want to burden you with this, but I just don't know what else to do, Mom. I'm so scared. I'm scared of what I've become. Anytime I look in the mirror, the reflection I see, it's not me. It's horrible. It can't be me, can it? Is that how I've always looked? It started when I got that mirror. Points to a large stand-up mirror in the background. The surface of the mirror cannot be seen. You recognize it? It's the one from Uncle Estate. You know, the one he wanted from Dad's shop after he passed away. It's worth a fortune. But I wanted to keep it just as something to remember them both by. One day I was looking in the mirror and I noticed that there were age lines on my forehead. Figured I just hadn't noticed them before. After all, I just turned 30, so whatever. Then I started to notice other things over time. Creases in my face that I never noticed before. I thought maybe it was because of how long the mirror was. I went out and bought a small hand mirror, but the differences remained. Did I just not realize how much I had aged over the past few years? Yeah, I always use good angles when taking pictures, but still. After a couple of weeks, my eyes changed. They sank in and went bloodshot, and all the life just left them. I looked like I just worked 48 hours straight, and that look in my eyes just never went away. You always said I had Dad's eyes, but his eyes never looked like this. I woke up a week ago and I was missing teeth. I could still feel them in my mouth, but I couldn't see them in either of the mirrors. What happened to me, Mama? Why did this happen? Why? He lifts his head to to look at the camera for a few seconds, then drops it back down to begin to cry for approximately 2 minutes. As he looks down at the camera, his eyes appear normal with no signs of being bloodshot, and he has all of his teeth. After he finishes crying, he takes several deep breaths before continuing. I've always taken care of myself, you know that. Never smoked, always tried to eat healthy. When heart disease runs in the family, you've got to do everything you can to stay on top of it. At least that's what you always told me. I work out. I go for runs. At least I did. After being so healthy for so long, why do I look like this, Mom? Why does my face look bloated and dead? Just look at me, Mom! Lunges forward so his face is lit up by the light and begins violently poking at it. His face appears very slender, in line with his athletic build. Although he looks malnourished and sleep deprived, his face is still a relatively normal complexion. It's at this point in the video you can understand that the face he is describing in the mirror is clearly not his own. Why? Why did this happen to me? The way I look, I haven't left the house in weeks. I quit my job. I can't focus on anything else. Every time I'd see my face in the mirror, I'd want to crawl into a hole and die. The worst part is sometimes I'd swear, Mama, that face would be laughing at me. I haven't laughed in weeks. It's almost like taunting me or something. Or I'm taunting myself. I don't know anymore, Mom. I just don't know. Stands up and begins pacing. Why? Why, Mom? I don't understand. I just don't understand. He picks up a small handheld mirror and holds it up to his face. He picks up the camera so that the camera is also viewing the mirror. Do you see, Mama? Do you see what's happened to your little boy? His face appears to be normal in the mirror. He stares at his reflection for a few minutes before setting the mirror down. I have to see. He begins walking towards the upright mirror with the camera facing it. What if... Is this me? Mom? Is it really me? It's speaking to me. Stands up in front of the mirror, pointing the camera at the mirror. He stares at his own reflection. The reflection seen by the camera in the mirror is clearly his own. He runs his hands along his face. Oh God. Oh God. It's not mine. As he speaks, a face appears in the mirror. The face is pale and extremely bloated. Its eyes are bloodshot and sunken in. It has multiple age lines and missing teeth. It has an unnaturally wide smile as it stares directly at... Mama, it's not my face. Redacted suddenly falls to the ground and begins to violently convulse. The camera falls and lands facing up. He gasps for air for approximately 2 minutes before going still and silent. All the while, the face in the mirror looks down at him, laughing, although no sound can be heard. This continues for approximately 48 minutes before the video suddenly stops. It was found by his mother after he did not return multiple phone calls over the course of a week. She let herself in with a spare key and found him still laying in front of the mirror. His death was officially ruled as a heart attack, the same as his father and uncle. I'm writing this in case I'm gone tomorrow. The following is a notes message found on the device of who has been missing for over a year. No other information has been discovered about his whereabouts or the incident that he is explaining in the message. The message was still open on his device upon its discovery, insinuating it was one of the last things he had opened. The message is as followed. To whoever reads this, I didn't run away, I didn't commit suicide. My life may not be great right now, but I still want to see what else it has in store for me. I'm writing this in case I'm gone tomorrow, since I'm absolutely terrified that I might be. This is gonna sound so stupid, But if anyone sees this and you want to know what has really happened to me, well, this is it. So, I've always had a fear of what may be lurking under my bed. Ever since I was a child, I'd always run and jump on my bed. I always thought if I took too long, then something could grab me. Just silly kid stuff, right? Maybe it comes from growing up in this system and always feeling a little unsafe. Unfortunately, that's just not the case. Everything I'm about to tell you really happened to me, and I'm not on anything, so don't even assume that. It all started about a year ago. I finally turned 22 and finally decided to get over my fear. Up until that point, I would run into my room and jump onto the bed every single night. As you can imagine, it's pretty embarrassing to bring a guy back to your dorm to hook up, only to then run and jump onto your bed. The last guy I brought over legit just laughed and asked me what I was doing. Total mood killer. It was the next night I finally decided to face this stupid fear. I walked right over to my bed that night, got down on the ground, and looked straight under my bed. And to my surprise, there was nothing there. No monsters, no weird demon motherfuckers, and definitely no serial killers. I felt like such an idiot, but I was glad to finally face the fear. I even decided to sleep with my hand hanging over the bed that night, something I would never ever do. Nothing would happen, right? I woke up around 3 a.m. to a strange feeling I'd never experienced before in bed. Something had touched my hand. I immediately shot up, grabbed my cell phone, and shined the light at the ground. But there was nothing there. I jumped out of bed and turned on the lights to look under the bed. There was nothing. I thought I had just imagined it. Of course, the first night after facing a fear, I'd imagined something like that, right? I laughed to myself and went back to bed. Then, 2 nights later, it happened again. It was so distinctive, but at my feet this time. Something had brushed a hand against my foot very gently. I freaked out and turned on the light. Again, there was nothing in the room with me. For the rest of the week, I decided to sleep with the lights on. After that week, I was exhausted. I need total darkness to fall asleep. So, against my better judgment, I turned off the lights. A few nights went by and nothing happened. Then, on Saturday night, I brought a guy over and we had our fun. He was cute and really nice, so I said he could spend the night. Color me shocked when he woke me up saying he felt something grab at his foot. He shook me awake and asked if I had a roommate. He ended up leaving when I told him no. He thought I was playing a trick on him or something. Story of my life. The next night, something major happened. It was so distinctive and it scared me awake. It was a grab. Not super aggressive, but it was very much real. Like a large hand grabbed my foot for just a second. I woke up and looked around, but I didn't see anything. This is when I thought I was going crazy. Over the last few weeks, things like that would happen. I'd feel something brush against me or grab me, or even a few times I'd see glimpses of something. Now I'm writing this because last night was really bad, and I'm seriously scared to death. I woke up around 2 a.m. for a glass of water, and as I opened my eyes, there was a large face staring at me. It was right at eye level when I turned over from the wall. The face was horrific. It definitely wasn't human. This thing had massive eyes and a super long face. It stared for a moment, then started to smile. It didn't have any teeth, which kind of made it creepier. Then it slowly slid back under the bed while it laughed. I jumped out of bed and I ran into the hallway. No way could I sleep in that bed another night. I tried to crash with people tonight, but no one will let me. I have nowhere to go and I'm so tired. I felt like I needed to write this in case Well, in case it comes back for me tonight, I don't know what it is, but I know it's evil. I could see in its eyes it wanted to hurt me. I'm hoping I'm wrong and that maybe I really am just crazy. But in case I'm gone tomorrow, just know whatever is under my bed took me. The message ends. The night that seemingly disappeared, other dorms in his hall claimed to have heard screaming and banging coming from his room. Campus security knocked on the door before entering, but saw no one in the room. They assumed someone was playing a prank. It was not until Redacted failed to show up for several days of classes that he was discovered to be missing. In the dorm room, it was found that his nightstand was knocked over and had marks all over it. Marks later identified to be human fingernail scratches. These marks were also found on the floor beside the bed. Cell phone was found on the bed, open to the phone dialing keypad, in which the numbers 911 were typed in. The call was never placed. I hope that you enjoyed those two tales as much as I enjoyed writing them and enjoyed narrating them for you. You're here because you want to learn a little bit more about the Dread Files and what exactly it is. Well, basically, the Dread Files is a Reddit account that I started with the intentions of using it to find other people's stories to narrate. I essentially realized that it's better to have karma. And one of the best ways to get karma is by posting. So I decided that I would write a quick story that I had in my head for some time, post it. That story was It's Always Watching Me. And after I had quite a few kind words about it, I decided to explore this a little more. And that was 6 months ago. I've written quite a few stories. I think I'm up to about 14 now, standalone stories. And then I have 2 series as well that I wrote, each with about 10 to 14 stories, as well as a bunch of redacted side stories as well in there. What we're doing over on the Dread Files Reddit account on the subreddit, we are really creating a community that's mostly in character. The character that I am playing that is sharing these stories, Detective Jason Lane, I interact in character a lot, and we have a lot of fun doing that over there. So if that sounds like something you would really like to be a part of, be sure to check out the link down below to the subreddit r/thedreadfiles. Come hang out. We have a lot of fun over there on the community page, and I would love to have you be a part of it. Now, I have 2 more stories that I'm going to be sharing with you guys next week. However, I have tons of more content over on the Dread Files Reddit, so please go check it out. It would mean a lot to me, as well as check out the Instagram. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. Hope that you enjoyed the stories, and I will see you guys next week for the final Volume 3 in the Dread Files Horror Show Halloween Special crossover. Have a fantastic rest of your week.